So I saw the weigh in the other day. You had 3. You probably 299 right now. I know you.
Man, I hadn't checked, man. I hadn't checked.
So what's the weigh-in? Do you go every day? Are you like once a week? Are you?
Well, I used to weigh every day in the morning time, nighttime, but I haven't, man. I kind of hid the scale up under one of my little cabinets, and I jump on every few days, or maybe, now it's like every other week I might jump on, so I hadn't weighed myself in like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks ago, I was like 309, which I was happy about. But then yesterday, I guess the day before, I was like, man, let me just see how much I weigh. And it was like 300.7. I looked like, I walked out the bathroom butt naked and told my wife, I said, man, guess how much I weigh right now?
Yep.
And she was like, she's like, how much? She's like, what, 310? What? I said, man, 300.7. And I was geeked because I hadn't seen the 2 since 04.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of discouraging because, in our prime, man, we all look like, Greek gods in our own way. You know what I mean? Even though, to the average person, you're like, oh, you obese or this and that. I mean, we had 16, 17% body fat,
right?
300 something pounds, ass, back, you know what I mean? Like, we were great. I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, where did my ass go?
Mr. Hill, you have no ass.
I'm like, I guess I need to start trying to do some squats, but the way my back's set up and my hips, I can't do no squats anymore. Like, dude, I said, I need to get on some of these Instagram model workouts and see if I can get that thing to pump up a little bit. my Jordan shorts be falling off, my PJ pants fall off at nighttime.
Yeah.
My wife be like, dude, it's just terrible. But I was excited about the weight, though.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You got to take them wins because it's funny because you mentioned that because as when we were in our prime, which was long ago, like you said, you could gain the weight, lose the weight easily. The biggest thing for us is always the output ain't never been the problem. It's always the input. But now that the output is lower and the input, what we put in our mouth all the time, that just makes it real tough. So are you just more body weight stuff now? Is it just walking? Man,
what's funny is that I was, I rehab every day as far as like some of my body issues. I did before the Rona hit. And the last 3 months, I've been in the house, really stuck in the house, and I haven't been able to really do anything. But I just changed my eating habits, because at one point, when I was coaching a few years back, I was like 374. You know what I'm saying? I was 374, but you really couldn't tell, but I was all belly. You know what I'm saying? My rest of my body looked the same. My face got a little fatter. Matter of fact, that's why I hadn't shaved my beard off a little bit over a year. I trimmed it down, but that during November, you cut everything off and just had a little mustache. I remember one November a few years ago, I cut everything off, just had the stash. And I caught it. Matter of fact, I was in Tallahassee, and an old friend of mine, I ran into him in the hotel lobby. Said, man, let's take a picture. So I took a picture, and I saw that picture later, and I had like an extra chin. I'm like, oh, hell no. Because it's certain stuff that we never had no issues with.
Right.
It's like seeing side titty for the first time. You be like, hold on. What is that? Like, I ain't never had, no matter how big I ever been, I ain't never had side titty or
that arm and shit on that fat side and shit.
Yeah. So that was kind of like eye-opening to me. But then it just was, I just watch what I eat, man. I've been intermittent fasting and didn't really even notice it. Because I get up at 6 a.m. I probably go to bed 2, 3 in the morning some days. I get up 6 a.m. always like clockwork. I don't know, it's probably still a ball in me. I always feel like if I get up before the sunrise, I'll never be late.
Correct.
Because, that's one fine I was never going to take in the locker room is being late. I'm like that. I can help that. long as I don't blow a tire, get in a car accident, first thing I control is being on time.
Correct.
So I'm always up early. I get up, smoke me a cigar, have a cup of coffee. I start taking Spanish classes online. You know, my parents are from Panama. You know, so
Okay.
you know, I hadn't. You know, everybody speaks Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. You know, because growing up in Inglewood, you know, before we moved out to area where all the white folks at Oak Park, it wasn't cool being the brother speaking Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My parents kind of pushed it because, like, my mother came to this country at 17. She got made fun of because she didn't speak no English. But I realized that I go till noon before I have anything to eat. Like today, I think the first thing I had was 10 minutes ago, and it was like I walked in there looking for something to munch on. I realized I forgot my wife cut up a watermelon the other day. I'm like, oh, let me have a piece. But I had 5 pieces of watermelon, and I hadn't had anything to actually eat yet. And I'll end up cooking maybe a late lunch, maybe have a late dinner or something light, a couple chicken breasts. Well, I love to grill, so I might grill a steak or something. But I've been intermittent, and I drink water all day long, and like my calories are different. Like if I choose to have a soda, which I'm about to have with my cigar, I know it might be my calories for the next few hours. You know what I'm saying? So that just along with, like you said, the intermittent fasting, it fell off, and I didn't know it was even leaving. And it just was, besides the scale, like I went out and saw Tremont Williams yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you disappearing over there." I'm like, I didn't even notice it until I got on the scale yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool, bro.
That's always great when it can happen like that, because usually it's the other way. You'd be like, you don't get on the scale. You'd be like, God damn, where did 15 pounds come from, man? I ain't
exactly
what I usually do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the biggest work, I think, right now for all of us. So, yeah, everybody we've been kind of interviewing and talking to, even for myself, is like intermittent fasting is the big thing. Like, I even remember when I played, like, 2-a-days, like that morning practice when I wouldn't eat nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Again, because they want to go out there feeling sluggish, full of pancake.
You ain't trying to throw up.
Yeah.
Like we all play in the South. You know what I'm saying? And It's hot in the devil draws in the South.
Especially in the morning.
Huh?
Especially in that goddamn morning. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so, like you said, like already kind of having that helps, but making sure you put the right stuff in there. I understand calories in and what 1,000 calories of this versus 1,000 calories of that. They ain't all equal. So that's definitely one of the big things. But it's always a great surprise when the system works. So
yeah,
you an intermittent fasting guy, you low carb kind of guy with that.
Yeah, low carb. Like I don't fool with that bread anymore, man. You know. And I'm trying to get my kids off of that bread. My son, I call him little doughboy, and I don't think parents realize how much sugar is in bread. You know what I'm saying? And the way my son eat bread, it's almost like I'm like scared, like, dude, I don't want you to get diabetes and none of that stuff, bro. Because he's not a big sweet eater. Okay. Like, he don't eat a bunch of candy and none of that stuff like that. But he smash out, like, we buy a loaf of bread every few days because he like my dad, man. He make a sandwich every day for lunch. He have make toast with his breakfast.
Yep.
He all of that stuff. I'm like, dude. So I got.
That was me. That was me. I never thought. I was like, man, I don't really be eating sweets like that. But peanut butter and jelly, ham sandwich, turkey sandwich, and then egg sandwich for breakfast, turkey sandwich for lunch, and then, like you said, that sugar just add up and up and up.
And you don't even know it's sugar. You sitting there like, man, why I'm gaining weight? And you got sugar on top of the carbs, and now your body looking like, well, damn, like I ain't been working. So, And I still love me a good burger every now and then. Don't get me wrong. 100%. I love old Junior Bacon from Wendy's. You know what I mean? Even though they doubled the prices we was in school, you gotta remember, like,
$1.49 now, $2 now. Used to be 99 cents.
Hey, that thing was 89 cents, bro. And I'm like,
inflation.
$1.89. I'm like, dude, it ain't changed, so what's going on? But no, man. And then, when I was 374, I was like I said, I was coaching in Mississippi.
Okay.
And I was drinking like a handle of Crown a day, every other day, smashing. Then I'd be like Crown and Coke, because I'm like, I don't want to drink it straight and be toe up. Crown and Coke, realizing after I finished this bottle, I just finished 5,000 calories and just about, and then it just was, I literally quit, and I stopped coaching because really that was it, because I was like, yo, one, I don't know if it's the coaching or if it's just because I'm in Mississippi, in Podunk, Mississippi. There's nothing else to do. And I'm like, being like where we come from and experiencing the life that we've experienced, you see how you're supposed to be treated, how you're supposed to be taught. We all went to 4 universities, and we all know how, as a Black man, you expect kids to and people to raise their kids to do. In Mississippi, man, it was just so ass backwards. So I think I was just out. When I have free time, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
When I'm in there watching film, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Then we in a dry county, so I would drive over to the state line in Louisiana, pick up 2 handles, and then do it all over again in a couple of days. And I'm like, I looked at it, I was drinking beer all the time. I said, man, you know what? I got to change. I still love drinking, but I just know there's certain things I can't drink.
Yeah.
As much as I love scotch and bourbons and whiskeys, I can only do that in small doses. Vodka, I can do vodka, but I got to make sure I get squeeze a little lime in there. Mm-hmm. It's just trying to enjoy the same thing we still enjoy, but without doing it to the fullest. When I'm home, go ahead.
Yeah, because everything we've ever done has been ain't none
extreme.
Of us saying ever done a little of anything.
Yeah, never. If you're gonna do it, in the words of Joe Lewis Clark, don't ever around with it, do it expeditiously. You know what I mean? So, that was one thing, just always doing it like, we wouldn't have been where we was at if we did anything just to do it. If we gonna drink, I'm drinking to get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking to get social drinking. Mm-hmm. Hell no. If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink. I'm not playing around with it. So that's the thing is, eating. We have big parties. You eat. What I realized for me is don't eat till I get full, eat till I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I had this, I'm satisfied, I'm cool. Push it away. We all grew up in a household what? Your mama, your grandmama, your dad, don't you waste my damn food. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, even with my kids, I put small portions on their plates, and if you say you're hungry, I give you some more. Mm-hmm. But if you finish and you like, I'm cool, then cool. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And that's probably the hardest part.
Yeah, that's one thing we all kind of, you trying to work off the old program that your parents gave you. Because, again, they doing the best of what they can at the time. Of course. And so, there was a reason behind that. You better eat all that shit because, again, we got to make this work.
My good money for this.
Yeah, we got to make it to the 15th. And you say you wanted that, right? So, but, inadvertently, it ended up, setting up a bad kind of standard. But it's great. And I think that's part of the great deal of being a football dude is because we all watch tape. We all watch our performance. And like a lot of people go around in the world they don't look at, man, this is why this has happened to me, or this is why, my money ain't right, or I drank too much or whatever. But to have that self-awareness is kind of the little hidden gift that football gave us because no matter how good or bad you played, you got to go watch that tape in front of everybody else on Monday. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. I was just going to say, even with the drink, because I love to drink myself, but you notice the drink turned to 2, but then somehow that turned into a double burger. Or then sometimes that turned into the fries. And you like, how I wound up in the drive-thru? That wasn't even the plan. And you just
I wasn't even planning on it.
And then you just put on 3,000 extra calories and didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm. At all. Like we go to Krispy Kreme, like Bruce said. Now I came here to get a half dozen, one for me, maybe 2, one for each of the kids, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden they be like, well, you can get a dozen for $1 more. Nigga, you bullshit.
And Krispy Kreme donut will make you wreck your car. Am I lying? You'll be riding down the street and that hot light come on. You be walking like, give me 6 of them glaze. 6 glaze, 6 glaze. The lady say something like this, you can get 6 more for $1. You be like, you bullshit. Go put them in there.
Them boys shaking out the big grocery bag.
In there. You know, and it's like, damn, now I just consumed 4,000 calories and I just came out here for 50.
100%. 100%. That's interesting what you said about your kid, because that's the other thing now is that now, I mean, we all got kids. We all trying to make sure that, we work so hard to put them in a position, but we don't want to, give them diabetes or any of that stuff like that. So that's always the tough thing to try to, because a lot of times as a parent, you're just trying to get through. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want to, you're trying to eat healthy yourself, but then, they're like, what is this? So sometimes you'll sacrifice and going to get them some fried stuff or something, even if you on the diet. And that's, have you been finding that, like, your family's been really supportive of that? Like, is it always a process? I mean.
No, yeah, they supportive. And plus, like, I love cooking, man. Like, I love cooking, and because my wife went back to work the first time in 15 years, so it's kind of on me. You know what I mean? It's kind of on me to try to, either cook something or, like, I've been trying to teach them to cook, so it's like they can do certain things, and they can do, teach them how to make pasta, teach them how to make, brown rice, if you're gonna have rice, because the baby boy, he's slim, super slim, cut up like a turkey though, but at the same time, he love rice, like a true Panamanian, love rice. He want to eat rice every day, but I gotta switch it up for him. Like, we had brown rice today, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind, because he gonna be, he one of them guys, you've seen them guys in the locker room. I played with Greg Jones in college. And Greg, exactly, Peachy. You all know Greg and
South Carolina all day.
Greg eat 5 Big Macs, large fry, and a large soda, and don't gain a pound and go out there and act a fool on at practice. Well, we do that because I can't move for 2 days. So, and my baby boy like that. Exactly. You need a backiotomy. You got that back looking like, oh my goodness, I can't move. But and he like that, the baby is. But I just I'm just trying to get them in, just like anything. The problem for us, because we played the game, because we experienced the life we've experienced, is we know what we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like we would be dead wrong for not passing on some of those positive traits to our children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as how to eat, how to work, you know what I'm saying? And just how to, because remember, what the vets tell you all of us when we got in the locker room, what the vet used to tell us? Take care of your body. When you're young, we like, man, I go to practice, you hop in the shower, you put your shorts on, you out of there. With a 6, 7, 8 year, 10-year vet, he in the cold tub. He getting treatment. He getting this worked on. And you like, man, what's wrong with him? And then when you get to 6, 7 years, you like, man, dude, let me get in this training room, man, get somebody to work in. Let me get in this cold tub. So I think it's all about perspective, but then it's like trying to make sure we can teach each other and teach our kids the things that we've learned and the things that, we've experienced, because I would love for my kids to play the game like we played the game. But I also would love for them to never have body issues, never be, like we were all big kids growing up. You know what I mean? And maybe it was because we were naturally big. Maybe because our parents fed us so much that we was huge.
Correct.
So I don't know, man.
Speaking of which, when did you know you were bigger than everybody else as a kid? Like, I was on 50 in the 3rd grade, but when, I was big, you know what I'm saying?
Man, from damn near day one, I look back, like I was just filling up some old pictures. Like in the 5th grade, I was 5'10", 185 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And I literally stopped growing. I stopped growing my 8th grade year. Like, I hadn't grown an inch since the 8th grade. I've gotten bigger, wider, but like at one point, all the doctors were like, man, he's gonna be 6'8". Like, I was off the charts for everything. And I just stopped. Like, it just was, but I knew I was bigger than everybody else. Then it was like, I remember at 8, really at 9, 10, I was chubby. Then when I started stretching out, I started filling out, getting yoked up, and was like, I like the way this looked, you know what I mean? But I knew I was bigger early, like super early, man. Like playing baseball in the park, I was bigger than all the kids. We go pull up old pictures, your old school team pictures, you standing there and the thing, and you the one sitting in the middle, or you the one right next to the coach. You know what I'm saying? I was never the kid on the knee in the front. You know, not in no school pictures, no team pictures. So I was bigger than everybody from early, man. Like my head, like the day I was born, I think my mama said my head was in the 110th percentile. You know, I've been wearing a 8 1/8 hat for
forever.
You know, from the time I was 10. You know, so I've been big forever. Just like most of us have been like that. You know.
Yeah, we all got a story like that. Like I said, I was 150 in the 3rd grade, and I remember the doctor was like, "Man, we got to do something." My mama took me to get ice cream. You know what I'm saying? She took me to get ice cream afterwards. But you know what I'm saying? But
she's like, "Ain't nothing wrong with my baby."
Exactly. Yeah, she was like, that was her whole thing. Man, ain't nothing wrong with you. You straight. You run out here, play baseball and softball. You know, all that shit all day.
All day long. Got energy for days.
Correct. So when you hit high school, of course, I'm sure the football coaches were all over you, but like, were you out there doing other sports that probably big men shouldn't do? Was you the point guard on the basketball team?
No, man, I did everything, man. I really, when I moved out of Inglewood, it was July after I turned 10.
Okay.
And I moved to Oak Park, which is like, I don't know if y'all been out west, but like Oak Park is like Thousand Oaks. Like right now we're the Rams are practicing.
Yep.
I'm from that area. You know what I mean? It was nothing but white dudes. It was like, I think I called myself, you know, a founding father for the black folks over there. Because it was like me, my baby sister, my homeboy, his baby sister. And so I came out there only playing baseball. Like I said, my family from Panama, so that's all they knew was baseball. But then, like, I was on the baseball diamond killing kids because I played, you know, coming from the hood, we play baseball like pros play baseball. You still home, we're going to bury your ass on that third baseline. If I get this ball before you, I'm killing you. So it was a white dude. Al Lutz. Al Lutz, it was Dave Borman and Joel Nicasio. These guys, I played against all their kids. And they was the football coaches, like for the little 6th grade team on the park. And was like, hey man, we want them to come out and play football. First they was like, we want them to come play basketball. And I was like, I ain't never dribbled ball day in my life. But I learned to play basketball and I became damn good at it. Had a few small school scholarships by the time I was in high school. So I'm playing that, learning to play football. And really, when I first played football in the 6th grade, I realized, oh, man, I'm bigger than everybody else. You know, I'm at the top weight class. I got to lose weight to make sure I could play. And my confidence, because I know, I don't know nothing about football, but I know I'm bigger than you. And I know I'm going to bully you if I can. And at the time I played online, if hindsight was 2020, I still played online because I'd probably still have a job. But I mean, I just was bullying people, and that changed it. And then so then I got good at all of those things, man. I could play baseball and football and basketball just as good as I could do anything else. But I stopped growing. So I was a power forward, you know, on them teams, AAU team. I'm power forward, playing center because I'm the tallest dude from early. And so I didn't play the point, but I ran track in high school.
How many of y'all mama been good? She cooked that collard green, fat back meat, cornbread, and 2 biscuit with a corn on the cob.
Ran 100 meters, 10.8, 11.2 between there all the time at 260. I played, you know, through the shot put, 66 feet. You know, so I did all of that. I stopped playing baseball. I wanted to play catcher. My freshman year, my first high school, I got bad grades. My pop wouldn't let me play that year. And I was supposed to be on varsity, starting catch on the varsity team. And I went to my second high school, and it wasn't that I didn't love it anymore. I just was tired. Like, you know, when I moved out of LA, I was the only black dude playing at the park. Playing baseball over there. And I'm one of the best dudes out there on the field, but I wasn't getting no recognition. You know, you go 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 5th grade, and don't make no all-star team, but you hitting bombs every time. Like, you ain't put a pitch past me. I might strike out once a game. I might strike out twice a game. But once a game, I'm going yard on somebody. And, you know, just not getting shown the recognition was like, you know what? I'm going to do track because I know it's me against everybody else.
Right.
I'm going to get what I put into it.
No denying.
Same thing like in football. You know what I mean? I was fortunate when I left my first high school, it wasn't that big. I went to my second high school, and because my road dog, man, was Justin Fargus. I don't know if y'all remember Farg.
Yeah.
So, Farg was the top running back in the country as a junior going into senior year. And I was like, man, I'm transferring over there. And the guy who taught me how to play football left a scholarship at that high school in my name. So, so it was like, because it was his alma mater. So I transferred to that school, and everything else is history for me. So, I mean, I did everything like we all did. I tell people all the time, man, you don't get drafted to play in the league if you're not superior in every category than any other kid your size or anybody else. No matter if you're a first-round pick or a seventh-round pick, we the top 1% of anything. And even guys that's undrafted. Mm-hmm. You make the team, you in the 1% of the greatest athletes to ever walk this earth. It's only 20,000 of us to ever play this game. 25,000, I think, about the number. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's saying a lot. So we were all superior athletes in everything we did. It's just maybe we didn't play in the NBA because we didn't get tall enough. But we'd have been 6'8", 6'9", all of a sudden it'd been like, all right, well, let's play on the hardwood. So, I did everything, bro.
For sure. So with that being said, why you think it's so hard for us to lose the weight after? You think we just old dudes set in our ways? We've been tired of being told what to do our whole life. Now it's like, man, I'm going to just do what I want. Also, too, what we always say, too, is like everything since we've been little, food has always been the reward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You could have the worst game ever, baseball, basketball, you still gonna get you a Coke and whatever after the game. You know what I'm saying? Florida State beat
Coke with a smile.
Yeah, Florida State beat up on Clemson, or y'all lose to Clemson. I don't think you was part of that team. Y'all lose, you still gonna get that Chick-fil-A on the bus after the game. You know what I'm saying? So good, bad, and different. Food is always the reward. You think that's kind of the training that messes some of us up?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I remember when I made weight my 7th or 8th grade year. The guy told you taught me how to play football. He was like, man, if you make weight, because I was like, my 8th grade year, matter of fact, I was 225 and I had to be 195 or 200 to be allowed to play. So he had me at the time I played tight end, playing defensive line, and he was like, he put the sweatsuit on me. We in the garage, lifting for a month straight. And the first thing he told me was, hey, man, you make weight, I'm taking you to Johnny Rockets. You order whatever you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? And when I made weight, sure as shit, he was like, called my parents up. I'm going to come pick Trav up. And he came pick me up, took me to Johnny Rockets, me and his son and our other coach. And I smashed. I had 4 milkshakes. I had 2 burgers. I had 2 sets of fries. Like, then he took me to Ben & Jerry's right next door afterwards. Get an old nice little pint of ice cream. So it was, food was a reward. But I think for us, it's harder because nobody want to say this, but we are natural. Like, we ain't been no PED type of dudes. Yeah. You see it on the reverse side, and you see the white players. And I don't want to make it racial or whatever, but I'm just saying, just speaking in general. You see the white players that got away with the PEDs for their whole career, who, came out of high school or was in college and was 120 pounds, come to the league and they 300, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden they retire, and less than 12 months later, they sitting on 185, 200, and you like, Braggy? How the hell you 200 damn pounds? You were just 340.
It's one of the questions I have.
You either got stage 4 or something ain't adding up. Because I'm like, there ain't no way. If I would have been like my last year in the league, I was 315. If 6 months later I'm sitting at 215, somebody checking me into the hospital. I'm sick, bro. I got something. And I'm like, now, some guys, they the same. They got great discipline.
Right.
I've seen a bunch of guys that change. They in full regimented. They changing their ways. They change the way they eat. the whole family. I've seen it. I got guys I play with. You've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But if you got something that I question, like, come on, dog. Like,
that's why.
We already knew you was, you know what I mean? We already questioned in the beginning. When you retire, all of a sudden you shrivel up. You know what I'm saying? And you like this tall, slim dude, or you wearing skinny jeans, or you wearing suits off the rack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, man, that ain't adding up.
Yeah, correct. So, and that's one of the things we always talk about, because like I play with a guy like Damian Woody. Again, Wood is big and he's athletic, but his whole deal every year was like trying to make sure his weight is right. But even 10, 15 years since the league, Woody still got the same issues you had when we was in the D. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I'm the same way. I'm still trying to knock off this last 30, 40 that I had since the league, which has been 20, 15 years, 10 years ago, whatever. But it's always interesting, and because then you see like I don't know, again, Yanda or even Joe sometimes, Joe Thomas, like, I mean, Joe is just playing. Now, Joe, I mean, I know keto works, but bro, like,
I would say this, like, with Joe, I think, at first I was scared. At first I was scared. I wasn't skeptical, but I mean, I was caught by surprise because he was done. He got hurt, and all of a sudden, like 2 months later, he was little. But what I realized from guys who played with him was that his knees were shot to shit. He couldn't move around, and it was one of the things where he was like, he already had in his mind, like, I'm going full cold turkey on stuff. So Joe not even one of those guys I look at like that, because from guys I know who played with him, including my brother-in-law, Robert, we talk about how...
That's your brother-in-law, Robert Smith? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just know, what type of, and they was like how natural he was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't no dude that was ever, you take his shirt off and he got pimpled up back. Yeah. Nothing like that. It was just always, and the guys, man, you seen them. They take their shirt off in the locker room and you got their whole backside is pimpled up. You be like, hey man, you might want to see a dermatologist about that. Or they got the little man titties on top of their muscles, and you like, all right, man. Looking back though, I'm mad though. Because if I'd known what I knew now, I'd have been on the shit too.
I'd have did a cycle or two myself, just to get me
I'd cycle or two. Shit. I'd have been on that shit heavy. If you telling me it's gonna get me 15 in and I'll be able to get 10 sacks a year, shit. Nigga, who ain't jumping on that train? I tell people all the time, everybody like, dude. I said, man, I'd have snorted a line of cocaine for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been every game.
Ain't no different than some Avocare. What's the shit? The Spark pre-workout is about the same as Spark. You drink 3 coffees and take a packet of Spark. That's about the same thing as a line, I would think.
No question. That's what it used to be before that. When we was in high school, Ultimate Orange.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With something, it tastes terrible, but that thing had you wired up. But yeah, man, a lot of guys I've seen do it naturally. But then a lot of guys, man, I question it like, man, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. I mean, I understand, but you can't tell me you lost 100 pounds in 3 months without being, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll just fucking be miserable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. And then, so like, I'll use Joe, for example. I'll say, like, the reason I believe Joe for one is because he technically still was on the roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing for him to gain by losing the weight. You know what I'm saying? But for him, like when we playing, our discipline level is on another level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, my mindset is this: I'm losing the weight, I'm doing this. And when we in the locker room, it's easy. Because you know what? We know what our regimen has to be. We've been trained, from day one, this is what I got to do, this is what I got to do, this is what I got to do. And I think for Joe, it's like when he set his mind on, I'm about to lose this weight, I think that was, with the keto and all the stuff he was doing, I think that helped. But it's a lot of dudes. But I know for me, it was when I was done, when I realized I wasn't getting another job, being injured, whatever, for me it was, I'm not doing this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been somebody been telling me what to do, how to do it from the time I was 10 years old. And for the first time, I'm not touching a weight. I'm not walking in the weight room. I'm not running a sprint. I'm not doing any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna be fat, I'm gonna enjoy my fat ass house, my fat ass wife, my fat ass bank account. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna do me. Until the side titty came up. And then it was like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wanna die. My blood pressure's through the roof.
For sure.
You know what I mean? My bad cholesterol is up there. And it's like, do I want to die at 40? Or do I want to sit there and I want to live and hopefully one day get to watch my son lose 100 pounds after he done playing and be like, son, you want the sauce? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want? You know, but, you know, it just was a reality check, man. And it ain't even the working out because the way my body's set up, my knees, my hips, my back, my shoulders, I can't even get out there and lift no weights. You know what I'm saying? I was doing like a little old man workout with Bruce Matthews for a while, but you know, I've been with this Rona, I've been chilling. What's up, PT?
Now that's the question I was going to ask because everybody got these injuries. You know, I got a knee, Lane got a shoulder, arm, so everybody has something. Does that hinder you from working out? And you kind of answered that. Yeah,
no, it does because you'll work out like, and the problem is in our mind we still think we're 23 years old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we go out there and get a workout in, like on the day you feel good, or the day you pop you a nice little oxycodone and your body feeling real spry, and you like, oh shit, like I feel like I just had a Toradol shot. And then you go out there and you overdo the shit, and then you can't walk for a week. You know, you sitting there like, man, why I do that? Like why, you know, and it's now you set yourself back even more.
Right.
And so that's the biggest thing is like I said, I was doing a workout, like I use Bruce Matthews, for example. Bruce, we know, probably one of the greatest offensive linemen ever lived. And Bruce is a big dude, always been a big dude. You know, his brother, smaller dude. His brother still look like he can play. But when you look at Bruce, man, Bruce work out every day, and he's still 330. He's still, you know what I'm saying? He'll look at his diet. He's still, you know, he'll change the weight, and he's still 330. It's a lot for us. It's a lot of genetics, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I always question, like, the guys that, like, hold on, you lost all this, so how is your genetics? Like, how is it possible you ever got that big?
Yeah.
How is it possible you was ever, like, you know the guys that take their shirt off and look like King Kong, you sitting there like, how the hell you look like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then when they done, he's just gone, and they look like regular dudes.
You never would have known he ever damn played.
To bring that point on genetics, you know, you brought up Greg Jones earlier, and you know I played with Greg in the Shrine Bowl. That's our all-star game here in South Carolina, and we was going through doing the physicals. You know, we 17, 18 years old, cats taking off their shirts. You know how you sizing everybody up for the first time? You done read about cats and see who they are? Man, Greg took off a shirt. The whole damn room stopped. Everybody was like, man, what the hell is that? He didn't look like nobody else. And these are all dudes that's going D1, dudes that's going to eventually go to the league. And Greg looked superior. So when you talk about genetics, that's a whole different story.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. So Greg, my kids got that.
Oh.
And so Greg, I got two stories on G. So G is so we get to school, and so me and Brian McFadden, we went to school early, like in the summertime. So me and B Mac in school summertime for they call it the CARE program, SEP, summer enrichment program. And when they changed it to SEP, we call it Summer Easy. And they was like, nah, so they changed it to the CARE program. And so we in the CARE program, and so we there all summer, working out with the team, everything. So finally, we in the regular dorms, like the regular student dorms. So finally, it was like, hey man, y'all need to start moving your stuff over to the football, to the Burt. So we get over there to the Burt, and Greg got on these. So we get over there, and this is dude with a permed out afro that's about this big, because he just took his braids out. He got no shirt on, and he got some purple dad shorts on, like some old hooper shorts that's like might have been freshman year, because he had about, like, if he was a Catholic school girl, he'd send his ass home because he had like too much squash on, right? And he's sitting on a Gatorade bucket. And me and B Mac walked in there and said, man, who daddy is that? Like, nigga look like he fresh out of prison. Like, he around there with muscles everywhere. He had, this is the first time in my life I've seen somebody with 10 abs. The little side abs and 8 in the middle, and then had 4 hamstrings. He had a hamstring going down and another hamstring. And I'm sitting there like, this dude look like the picture in the doctor's office. Like the little exoskeleton. Like, I'm like, gee, who that is? They like, man, that's the running back / linebacker that we got. Hey, you lying? Because at the time, I'm from Cali. I knew our class, but I didn't know everybody in our class. And they're like, no, for real, man. So I'm like, man, ain't no way. Yo, G was, man, I was like, yo, this is nuts. Like, ain't nobody supposed to look like that. Yeah, he work out, and he work out hard, he work hard, but then he'd go without working and literally still look the same. I got 3 stories. So the second story, when Greg tore his ACL, the year he probably should have won the Heisman, I thought. Same year Willis got hurt. Mm-hmm. This was 2002. It was 2002. Greg was like, I think he had 980 yards rushing in the first 7 games, something stupid. We had number 1 offensive line in the country. We had Big Todd Williams, Antoine Marambo, Montre Holland. We had all them guys. These guys were dogs.
Big Barron.
Yeah, Big Barron, AB. I'm going to tell you, so crazy part of that 2002 team, we had Ray Willis starting at 1 tackle. We had Barron, that was like he was a swing tackle. So he came in and really relieved both sides. We had Montre, all like them boys was killers. Called the Soul Patrol. So them boys rolled great and everything up out of there. So Greg tears ACL. Greg at the time, he probably about 245, I want to say 250, 6% body fat, if that. Greg working out the whole time. Him and Anquan. Matter of fact, both of them got hurt the same year. Him and Anquan get hurt. They had to ban both of them dudes from the weight room. Greg was in there lifting. Greg one day he come in there, he weighed like 295 and looked the exact same, but like just his muscles on top of his muscle. And they was like, dude, no more. You get on the bicycle, you get in the water, that's it. But he was huge. So, but then I remember, Langston, you was drafted with 03? Mm-hmm. 03 PT, what year was you? Hold on, I didn't hear you. You said what?
I finished playing at 04.
Okay, so 04. So this is the 03, I guess technically 04 Senior Bowl. And so I go to Birmingham. My cousin was playing there in the Senior Bowl as well. Big Mac Starch. Yeah. My cousin's playing the Senior Bowl. And so I'm like, I'm going to get up there. So I go up there, and I'm still got another year left of eligibility. So I'm like, I'm going to drive over, hang out, in Mobile or whatever. Yeah, Mobile. And I go in time for weigh-ins. The same thing you were saying, PT, about when Greg took his shirt off. All the scouts, they got their little microphones, they're giving their little notes for each player. And Greg takes his shirt off right before he gets on, and he just down to his skivvies, just down to his dang little tights. And the whole crowd just goes, ooh. Like, they just looking at him like, ooh. Like, they never seen nothing like this. I'm like, what they oohing for? And I'm like, I realized Greg ain't got no shirt on. And you see every muscle in his body. And it just was, I was like, dude, I guess it is rare as we thought it was. Everybody looked like this. So,
bro, he looked like that when he was 17.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
once again, genetics. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing for me is for us is that it's harder for us, I think, just because our genetic makeup, our upbringing, the way we eat, the bad things we eat, you know, and a lot of times, you know, like I said, I'm not saying all these white dudes was on the sauce. A lot of them are on the sauce, but their upbringing is a little different. They eat a little healthier than we always ate. So they don't eat, you know, all the fried foods and all that we eat. You know what I mean? They've been juicing since they was kids. You know, we didn't know about juicing until it became cool a couple years ago. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They've been drinking gallons. You know, you remember those guys that come work out with a gallon of water? And we used to be like, I'm going to drink whatever come out the dang faucet, out the spigot. You know what I mean? But they came with their whole little water. They got their, you know, same guy you saw in high school with their water and like a handful of pills, you know what I'm saying, before the workouts, and they pop all the pills, take all the creatines, those are the same dudes who, you know, when they get done playing, look like they stage 4. You know what I'm saying? Like they just shrivel up and they go away. You be like, damn. You see them at the reunions, the team reunions, and be like, man, what you been doing, bro? Like, not possible. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I definitely think that's one of the things that becomes, we just realize, man, is like you battling, you know, the football trainer, you battling genetics, you battling, you know, the urge to want to live this shit how you wanted to live it finally in your life, you know what I'm saying? Go eat these fried lobster tails and, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like you said, I worked hard to get that shit. So, but now it's like blood pressure said, nah, you know what I'm saying?
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, you better
that blood pressure, that silent killer.
Damn sure is, especially, and I think it's interesting you mentioned like the coaching deal earlier, because a lot of us get into coaching afterwards, but like it's still that silent killer that get us all, because we sitting more as, you know, when you're watching coach, and especially depending upon the school you at, you're going to drink that beer, you're going to have a drink, or you're going to eat something, and then you getting pissed off, and then your blood pressure also get ratcheted because this sorry player won't do it, you know what I'm saying? Because you like, man, why he won't play it like how I used to play it, Ben?
How I used to play it. Why he can't give me that same? Yeah. And you know what? Like, where you was coaching at?
Man, I learned a long time ago just to do these summer camps, man. So I quit. But PT was coaching in high school for 10 plus years. And then, you know, just bumping around doing the sideline stuff on the radio. I used to get my blood pressure up. And I was just doing the radio. I'd be like, God damn, boy, why you can't do this shit right? But
So I was at Pearl River Community College in Mississippi. Oof. And I had some good players, but I had some freaking jackasses too. I had one kid who mama named him and all his brothers after music composers of the 18th century, and he was far from a music composer stature when it came to brain power. But like I would sit there, and I'm a big, you know, just like anybody who played, big technique guy, big. Like I'm gonna teach you the basics. I just need the effort, you know. And I would teach the basics, and then they fuck the basics up. And you sitting there like, dude, what am I out here for? I'm getting paid pennies on the. Like I literally made more money in the stock market today than I'm getting paid for the whole year. But I'm out here volunteering my time for you, and you giving me this. And it used to send me, and that's why I couldn't do high school. Like PT, you godsend. Like I did my first year out, like I used to train in Orlando. My first year out of the Dr. Phillips, I was at Dr. Phillips over in Orlando, and that's when I realized I couldn't do high school. Because at least in college, junior college, I get somewhat say on who I coach. You know what I mean? I get somewhat say a pick and choose of who I want on my team. And, you know, high school, you can drill them. If they ain't got it, they ain't got it. You know, I can't teach speed. You can't teach quickness. You can't teach want to. You're either born with it or you ain't. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was the frustrating part about high school. So teaching you godsend for even doing that.
The thing about coaching high school is that it wasn't until I started coaching high school till you realize how good I actually was. You know, because when you playing, you don't think about it. You're just like, man, I'm just doing whatever. But then when you see some of these cats that's in high school, you're like, damn, maybe I was pretty good. Because again, if you just, I go from high school to an SEC locker room, then you go to the NFL, you just used to being around cats who are elite. You don't remember how sorry everybody else used to be when you was in high school.
You really don't. You don't until you watch film later, or you Throwback Thursday, somebody post a video, you be like, man, that dude was sorry. That's just, prime example. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, y'all was watching they had all them games, the Miami Florida State game from when I was in school. So they play like 4 of the games. And I'm watching this shit, and I remember how good our defense was. I remember our offense at times struggled. Really wasn't even our offense, our quarterback. And I almost forgot how sorry he was until watching that shit again. And watch us losing. I'm watching these games like it's a game I'm watching today. You know what I mean? Like, man, how the fuck did he hit that? You know what I mean? Like, you going crazy, and you was like, damn, this dude was sorry.
Now is he going to have time? Rick steps up, throws in and out of the hands of Walker. It's intercepted. Picked off by Reed. 5. I guess we can blow that one out of the water. Huh? Here's Ricks down the middle. Intercepted. This one's Buchanan, and he might take it back. Ricks has plenty of time. Deep middle. It's intercepted by Buchanan again. They've got Buchanan playing.
Like, what's going on? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, you see this was gonna be cover 3, man. You see him dropping in the box. God damn, man.
And that's the problem, Lance. You see, you realize like the stuff you know now as being a pro, and the stuff you learn, like you sitting there like, now I know this is a defensive lineman, you know this offensive lineman, like how don't you as a quarterback know this stuff when this is what you got a scholarship to do? And I just look back, man, I know this is about weight loss, and I know we done handed off.
No, it's all good.
But I just remember when we got to Florida State, and all the guys was like, oh, man, Chris Ricks gonna be fired, man. This white, he got an arm on him, he athletic. I said, y'all remember, I'm from Cali. We played against him, and he ain't shit. And they were like, no, you gonna be all right, man, you just hate me. I ain't got a hate bone in my body. I said, I'm telling you what I'm telling you. When we played each other junior year, he was 1 for 21 for 13 yards and 15 picks. That's not a Division I college quarterback at no level. I'm like, as a senior, he gets kicked out of school at his first high school. His second high school, he gets beat out by a freshman. I tell you, I said, you want to know that freshman? Because at the time, nobody realized, like, they didn't know who he was. I said, it was Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's baby brother, that beats him out as a freshman. And Carson Palmer, baby brother Jordan, he decent, but he ain't gonna be recruited like we got over here.
UTEP.
So
the reason he went to UTEP.
Yeah, like, but y'all, this man come to Florida State. They like, no, man, you hate me. All right. And later on, senior year, they're like, man, you was right, dog. You been saying this from the beginning. I said, I know I've been saying this from the beginning. I don't like to say I'm right. You know what I'm saying? But
especially in that context, I don't want to be right. I want this boy to help us win, but shit, sometimes you hide it, man.
For real.
Hide it. That's interesting. We can wrap this up here in a little bit. So it's always a culture shock to move, from high school to college, but you came from the West Coast all the way down to Florida. What made you go to, did you have family near there? What made?
No family. I was there. I was just solo dolo.
Because he went to SC, right? He went to the other Southern SC, the Southern Cal.
Who did?
Justin Fargas, right?
He went to Michigan first.
Michigan for him. That's right.
So I was, I said, me and DJ Williams were the top two guys come out of high school. Me, really, we would always trade between 1A. Like I was ESPN National Defense Player of the Year. He was Parade All-American National Defense Player of the Year. It was between really top 3 dudes in our class: me, DJ, and Sean and Charles Rogers. Okay. So when we me and DJ was like, let's do something different. So we talked about originally like maybe going to Cal Berkeley. Okay. Really, and looking back now as a parent, I'm like, damn, we should have went to Cal Berkeley. That's like having a freaking Ivy League education. But for me, I always knew as a kid. USC offered me I think week 1 of my sophomore year So to give y'all context, like right now we see on TV high school games on national TV all the time. Well, the first nationally televised high school game ever was my high school versus Alamany on Fox Sports back in 1997, which was Casey Clausen was the quarterback of the other team, which Casey Clausen played at Tennessee. Yep. His brother Jimmy, I've known him since we was knee high to a grasshopper. But Casey played on the other team. So it was me, Fargus. We had a couple other guys, Todd, and we played on this other. So it was the first nationally televised game. Well, they had Miguel Flexer, who was the number 3 running back in the country at the time. So this is our first nationally televised high school game. And SC offered me after that week. UCLA offered me my freshman year. And I always knew I wanted to leave. Like Michigan was my favorite school growing up. And I was like, man, I'm going to Michigan. That was my dream school. And because when my dad came to the U.S., he moved to Detroit first.
Okay.
So his entry to football was watching University of Michigan. So when I was growing up, he was like, hey, man, let's watch Michigan. Let's watch Michigan. But like I know, the game is on everywhere. You're going to see Michigan every week. You're going to see Notre Dame every week. And for Cali kids, UCLA, USC every week. And I always just wanted to leave home. Like I always wanted to just grow and be able to grow up. And I watched guys from where we was from go to USC, and they're so close to home, they can't get out of their own way. They've been out of game. Like somebody like myself who moved from LA when I was 10, and all of a sudden moved into LA at 18. Now all of a sudden you gang banging or you affiliated. And, my whole family, gang members, not, their whole range, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to USC. Okay, if I stay UCLA, that's cool, but that's still too close to home because even though it was closer to USC than my house, and I'm like, will I really grow up? Will I really become a man? Will I really, because you got to think, y'all remember how I was in school where if you got, y'all from Carolina, so if you ever need your laundry done, you can always shoot home. And your mom would, you just bring the dirty clothes, your mom would whip that sucker up and you go back to school.
Right.
I'd have had that luxury. You know what I'm saying? I'd have had that luxury when we got to school, the in-dorm scholarship check was $89. You had to make that sucker last for 30 days. And, I ain't got no rich parents to send me no bunch of bread. So it was like, you had to figure it out, man. I knew the only way I was going to get to grow up and be the man that I really wanted to be, I had to move away from home. Yeah. Because the stigma about Cali kids is what? We all soft. We all ready for the beach. We ain't cut for SEC football. We ain't cut for down south football. And when I went on my recruiting visit, December '99.
Odell tried you. Did he give it to you when you sat in there for that recruiting meeting? Did he try?
Oh yeah, no. They tried me. It was not just that. Like when I went over there, I saw so much passion in the game. Like where y'all brothers from. Y'all from you from Carolina. It's dirt road central. Like man, you grew up on a dirt road. So to you, this all I got. You know what I'm saying? This all I don't got nothing else but this game. I eat, breathe, sleep, and piss football. So going to a practice at UCLA and have these dudes, or USC, and have these dudes, they want to be Hollywood. Like my first time going to Playboy Mansion, Freddie Mitchell took me to Playboy Mansion at 16 years old. Like you a rock star. There was no pro team, so you either college or high school, big name, you a rock star in the city. Mm-hmm. So it was like, oh man, I want that grind. And then when Coach Bowden came to my house after the recruiting, really, I saw a fight at practice, this bowl practice, getting ready for the national championship game. I see a fight under the pins between offensive line, defensive line, just because somebody didn't like how they lost, and it was just knockdown, drag out, offensive line, defensive line fight to where Coach Bowden stopped practice and ran everybody for the next 20 minutes, and then start the practice back over. So to me, it was, man, this football don't even smell like it smelled back home. Mm. And then when Coach Bowden came in my house and Jim Glad and all them guys came in my house, it was like, yeah, we know you're the number one defensive lineman, number one defensive player, whatever, woo. But you're going to be third team when you get to school. and we recruited you last year. You might never play. I might never play. Have you seen my film? You see what I'm doing out here? I might never step on the field. You think you that much better than me? Oh, hell no. So that, to me, it's a challenge now. To me, it's like, oh, so now I'm soft. Now, now fat meat ain't greasy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I took it upon myself to say, you know what? The only way to grow up, the only way to become a man, and the only way to become the player I wanted to become was to go to Florida State. Because when I weighed the pros and cons, I looked at Michigan, and I remember watching James Hall, who I thought James Hall was a fucking dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he goes in the third, fourth round. Rob Renas, big white dude playing the nose guard, bench press 500-some pounds. I thought Rob Renas was a freaking boy dog.
I don't think he even got drafted, right?
Yeah, I think he went 6th or 7th round. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I saw all these guys coming from Michigan playing under Brady Hope and didn't get drafted. But I thought when I watched these guys play, they was killers. And some of them went on to the league and became those guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But then you're looking like, well, why they not getting drafted when they supposed to get drafted? Why they not be a first, second round picks? You know, on the other end, I watched Florida State turn Andre Wadsworth for walk-on to top 5 pick. I watched him turn Corey Simon, who was the backup at the time, into a first-round pick. I watched him turn Jerry Johnson, who was a 6'1" defensive lineman, to a third-round pick. I sit there and watch these guys put guys out every year. I said, you know what? All I need is 1 year. If I get to start for 1 year at Florida State, I'll be able to make my mark. Because like they told me, they recruited me last year, recruited me the year before, and going to recruit the next me next year. So it's up to me if barbecue mildew. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. So that, to me, was a challenge. So that was never the plan to go that far, but it paid off. I wouldn't change it for the world. As a parent now, I say I should have gave Stanford and Cal Berkeley a second thought, you know, just because, you know, them degrees speak for themselves. You know, right now.
That's the gray hair speaking. You just know a little bit better now. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that's just you know what you didn't know. You know, if somebody right now told you, you know, back in the day they used to laugh like, I'm not going to Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you looking like, why would I go to Vanderbilt? But knowing what you know now, if your son get offered to Vanderbilt and your son get offered to South Carolina, you're going to tell him, take your ass to Vanderbilt, son, because you're going to be able to play in the SEC the same game that you be able to play at South Carolina, and God forbid you don't make it, you got a degree from Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm. I think about that now because I had offered to Duke, and I'm like, if I knowing what I know now, that would have probably been the move.
You got to think, and you sitting there like, matter of fact, one more story because I'm talking. You know what I mean? Especially if I got. I took my Adderall this morning to kind of be focused. So I'm
love it.
You know, so like Greg Jones' nephew is I trained his nephew for him during the off season every year, and we was down in Orlando, and he's getting recruited, and I thought he was always offensive lineman. You know, he had big ankles. He wasn't a skinny ankle, wasn't a quick mover. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, Duke offered him, North Carolina State offered him. A bunch of schools offered him when I started working with him for, you know, the last sophomore, junior, senior year. He's like, man, coach, where should I go? And I told him, I said, man, go to Duke. He's like, what you mean? I said, listen, I don't want to tell you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to tell you you're not as good as you think you are. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you, you're not as good as you think you are. I said, if you plan on playing D-line, I said, go to Duke. Because guess what? They're not going to replace you. They're not going to out-recruit you. You're going to be the man. You know what I'm saying? And even if you don't make it, you fucking got a degree from Duke. You know what I'm saying? I said, but you go to North Carolina State, they're going to try to out-recruit you next year. They're going to try to out-recruit you the year after. They're going to try to out-continue. And guess what? In a couple years, when they try to move you to O-line and it don't pan out or you get upset, you're going to transfer. You know what I'm saying? And what you think happened? Just exactly the way I said it. His redshirt sophomore year comes and goes, and they pull him aside and say, man, we want to move you to offensive line. You know what I'm saying? We're going to move you to offensive line. Before you know it, he like, man, I don't want to be here. I'm the offensive line. And guess what? When you ain't the guy they thought they recruited, they're going to be like, and now when we was in school, they could take the scholarship. Nowadays, they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So they just like, they force you to get out by any means necessary. Like, oh, we're not going to play you. And they be like, well, maybe you might want to get some playing time here. He ends up at Savannah State. You know, I'm like, man, you could have went to Duke. Even if they'd have moved you online, you stay at Duke. You got a degree from Duke, bro. I'm like, dude, you from Beaufort, South Carolina. I've been to Beaufort. You know what I'm saying? You from Beaufort. Bro, you supposed to be trying to get out by any means necessary. Yeah, okay, cool. I got a nice scholarship here, but what'll make your family better later?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A scholarship to Duke is going to do wonders for you. A scholarship to North Carolina State, if you make the league, cool. If you don't, what that degree working?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you travel to Savannah State, that's cool. But where that degree working? You know what I'm saying? But Duke, shit, ain't no job in the world you can't get.
At least they'll look at you. And you play ball. You play ball too? Oh, man, you must be, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You had to figure out how to play ball and went to Duke, man. But, you know, like you said, don't matter.
Man, you speaking to the choir. I mean, same thing when you look at Big Larry Allen. People ask, well, why you send your son to Princeton? Well, why not? I got money. I don't need money. I don't care if he make it or not. The end of the day is, it's a possibility he could. But guess what? He got a degree from Princeton.
Correct.
You know? And that's just us old men thinking the things that, you know, we try to raise our kids, hopefully they have that mindset and to listen to us, because our parents didn't know.
Right.
And we probably all first generation college graduates on this phone. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know. They just like, if it's free, it's for me. If it's free, give me 3.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Wherever you want to go, son, I'm cool with it. But I wish it'll push me different.
Like it. 2 final questions. What's one thing you would eat all the time if there was no repercussions? No, if it wasn't no calorie, wasn't no blood pressure numbers get affected, you know, what would be one thing you would consume nonstop if you could?
Would
it be a sweet? Would it be a fried? Would it be?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, Bo. It would be, for me, I'm gonna throw seafood as a whole in there. But I'm gonna say it'd be, man, what you say? I eat so much shrimp, I got iodine poison. I eat shrimp, oysters, lobster, crab. If it was that, man, them shellfish.
They don't have to be fried. It could be however, just that.
However, man. Hey, like Bubble Gump say.
Barbecue it, boil it, broil it, bake it, saute it. There's shrimp kebabs, shrimp creole, shrimp gumbo, pan fried, deep fried, stir fried. There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
Sauteed, souffle, anything. Like I love.
Always had you up in Beaufort. That's how they got your ass up 95.
I love Beaufort, man.
They tell you come on out here. We pull up all the crab traps. We gonna eat all that.
No question. See, that's the thing I guess about, you know, being a Cali kid. You don't learn about. I see that little lady got that bonnet on her head trying to keep that hair right. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, and she's a proud black woman. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Get right. You know what I'm saying? Teach them up early. You know what I mean? Have pride in your hair. Your hair is beautiful. You don't care what the motherfuckers try to say.
Exactly.
But you know, that's the thing I love about. Well, I mean, you asked me originally, and I never answered the question. I think about it. About the culture shock was a Cali kid going from there. The culture shock, one, in the football sense, but 2, because when I moved out of LA at 10, I'd never seen a white person before. I never had interaction with white people before. And then when I'm in Oak Park, I'm around white people nonstop, but there's not many of us. You know what I'm saying? Even though I hung out with all of us that was there, there was not many of us. And when I went to Florida State, it was super, like, Yeah, the campus is a predominantly white campus, whatever. But we was blessed to have FAMU across the train tracks.
Across the street.
And it was an exhilarating experience to be around so many people that look like myself and want to do the things that I want to do. And not just that, it was a culture shock in the way you don't realize how good you have it till you get around other guys like yourself who from dirt roads and got to and to feed themselves, they got to go drop the trap in the water. You know what I'm saying? And to feed yourself, you got to learn how to fish. You know what I'm saying? To feed yourself, you eat anything you can get your hands on. You know what I mean? And that to me gave me an experience that is priceless. Because I got to go to South Carolina and hang out with Greg. I got to go to I got to go to Beaufort, Orangeburg, Spartanburg. I got to be in all the places. I got to go down in Belgrade to the Muck, and you know what I'm saying, in those places, and realize like they didn't have it like I had. I can't give you no sob story of missing no meals, the lights turned off, this and that. My parents hardworking individuals. They work good government jobs my whole life, and so I didn't have that same sob story. But at the same time, I got to learn what fueled everybody else from the South. What fueled, because I came out there like, I've had my interactions good and bad with white folks. But then when I got down South, it was a different type of white man. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, damn, this dude. Dang, I ain't never experienced California. If I want to date a white girl, I date a white girl. You know what I'm saying? I want to date Mexican, I date a Mexican girl. I date whoever I want to date. But in the South, man, you get strung up for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like how everybody trying to be today. I'm accepting it, whatever. It was, they gonna tell you how they feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So that to me was the culture shock of, and not just that, how much the brothers had hatred towards white people. And I didn't understand it because, yeah, I had a few run-ins with them when I moved out of LA, but it wasn't like it was down South. And when I saw it down South, it was like, I mean, they call the white folks crackers, they doing this. I'm like, wow, y'all militant or what's going on? Like, that informed me. But it just was how the white man treated the brothers down South. And I think that was the reason why when I was in Mississippi, why it was so hurtful. Because I saw that, and then you want me to recruit a kid that you gonna treat like shit. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't how I was brought up. That ain't how we do business. So I think that to me was the biggest culture shock of meeting people who come from nothing, and this is all they have is the game. And that's why I think it brought the best out of me. That's why, because iron sharpens iron, but at the same time they got a little bit of me, and I got a lot of bit of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To see the struggle and to see the want to and to see the work hard and to see the I got to have this, because only thing worse than there's nothing worse than when you go to college, everybody say you made it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say, oh man, you made it, brother, you made it. No, I didn't make it till I go to the next level. And the next level might not be the league, but it might be doing something productive in my life, because I'm gonna tell you the worst thing is having to come back to where I'm from with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Having to come back to where I'm from because I got kicked out of school. Having to come back to where I'm from because I couldn't do my classwork. Having to come back to where I'm from because now everybody who counting on you to make it looking at you like, man, you ain't shit, dog. You had everything. You know what I'm saying? You ain't flying private, but to us, flying it was private. Charter was private. Mm-hmm. We get on the plane, no security. You know what I'm saying? We get on the plane, food fed to us. They feed us. They do give us money every month. You making more than your parents. Your scholarship check more than your parents. And you couldn't go to class. You couldn't do the thing coach asking you to do. So to me, that's worse than never going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize that until I was like, I used to see all the kids, the white kids, the ones who went play baseball, play like, I'm transferring home. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Because they had money to come back to. You know what I'm saying? They had money to come back to. it was, and I laughed because everybody laughed because they, you remember in the Mighty Ducks movie when they got the little scholarship to the little private prep school, and they were talking about quitting, and the brother was like, what was it? I guess it would be Keenan. Keenan was like, I ain't quitting. Yeah, my mama gonna whip my ass. I'm on scholarship. And to them, most of the brothers, that was the thing. Like, coach tell you to jump, you say how high. Why? I'm not going back to school. I'm not going back home. I can't go back home. My mama depending on me for this check. If I got a little extra, I'm gonna send her away. You know what I'm saying? So when you say culture shock, that was the culture shock for me to answer your previous question. But yeah, seafood is definitely my if it's shellfish, anything, that and red meat. I love some red meat. But and I cook red meat all the time. But man, I started getting I didn't realize my uric acid levels was high. Mess around and get that gout. And I don't even get gout in my ankle. That big toe? Oh.
Where you hit it? In my foot. Oh, my God. They shot me in my bunion, man. Man, I can't go on.
Goodness.
What they say?
Turn red.
I'm gonna get you something. Just cut it off, man. Just shoot that shit off, man. Just cut it off. That toe start growing, man. But it's wild because somebody somewhere is like, man, you just eat a lot of grill. You could grill the shrimp or whatever. But like you said, the seasonings might be the thing that busts you up over the head.
That salt, man. That salt intake, man. That sodium, bro. The old black woman used to say, man, too much salt make your feet fat.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that shit ain't true.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that damn salt, man, I had your damn toes looking like Vienna sausages around here. You know what I mean? It's just, but what's y'all foods, man, that you would do forever?
It'd probably be a fried wing, man. It's something fried hard, man, for sure. If I can get it don't even got to be a different flavor. I'll just take that mild to hot sauce. But again, just as my daddy got older, he just stopped pushing the back away from the hot sauce for a reason. Not because how it feel going in, but coming, he'd be like, oh man, I can't handle it no more. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't do Coca-Cola like that. Coca-Cola do me like that now.
Coke do me, I'm good. The first one, I'm good. The second one, heartburn coming. Like that thing, it's like you put the whole 12-pack on my chest and I'm like, oh, man.
I wish it was heartburn. I think it's from them Crown and Coke days. But that sucker tear my gut up something off, bro. I be doodling, I be after, if I have a 20 ounce, if I go past 12 ounces, it's coming like I just had orange juice first thing in the morning, like, hold on, let me go, and it tear me out again.
Like clockwork.
Yeah. How long y'all been doing the podcast?
Man, we've been trying to collect these interviews for the last about 2 or 3 weeks. We've been working on this idea for a minute. And then we started like a little dudes in our little Gamecock little chat. These guys trying to lose weight together. So it was a good opportunity for us to interview all those dudes. But then like a bunch of guys who we because we got like Big Foss on there. Big Foster, we're gonna try to get in. Spike, all them cats, Joe. Because again, a lot of the guys we play with, it's always just interesting to see guys on their weight loss journey.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's incredible, bro. I remember when I was 374. Matter of fact, you guys asked if y'all get Spice on, talk to Spice. They asked me and Spice to be the Biggest Loser the same year when Woody did it.
Okay.
And I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I also was like, I didn't want to mess up, I was like, y'all ain't been no, I'm cool.
Plus you like, I ain't that bad now. This ain't I ain't that bad. I can do it on my own. I don't got to go on TV, right?
I don't got to go on TV and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, I look back and like, man, I wish I would have, just because it might have got me to the 270. Because I'm like, they don't want to see me at 270. I hit 270. I'm finna be no shirt on every day, all day. I'm gonna walk around everywhere with a jock strap. That's it. I'm gonna drive my car down the road in my jock, ass on leather. Remember you got booty stool in it. I'm gonna booty stool my front seat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm riding around. They'll be like, damn, what's wrong with Trav? Man, you don't see this ab I got? One ab, I got this, man.
So is that the goal? Is that like for, I guess, where you at right now? Is that what health looks like for you? Is that what the goal would be? Get your numbers right, like blood feeling good, but like 270, if we had to put a number on it, is that what it?
If I could get the way my genetics is set up, if I could get to 270, I'd look awesome. Because, I mean, I came out of high school 270, 275. With abs, running, look great. Yeah, I can't probably get back into that shape. But at the same time, I think getting into that shape and body feeling a little bit better, it'll fuel a little bit more, you know what, let me get in the gym. Let me try to lift a couple weights. Like, I can't take last time I did a bench press. You know what I'm saying? And you sitting there like, maybe if I can get this done, maybe if I can get, you know, if I can lose this weight, then I can do this. But I really want to, you know, get down back into the tools. Like, I remember my brother-in-law, Robert, so I don't know if any of y'all played with Bear, but like Bear played at 350. And Bear got down to like 265 at one point. You know what I'm saying? But he was heavy on the keto. You know what I'm saying? Heavy on the keto. But you know, like I know, the keto is, if you ever start eating that stuff again, you're gonna blow up like old girl in Willy Wonka factory when she had that gum. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna come right back. So he gained it back. But I really want, if I can get down to 270 and can throw on some skinny jeans every now and then, you know, throw on some suits with the form figure. I can't really get into it. So I'm over here trying, when I lose a couple pounds, I take a couple of my old LABs and like, man, bring it in, man. Take some material out, let me feel good. Problem is, you take the material out, you can't go back and gain no weight because that shit don't fit no more.
That's another thing we have to our partners, like, as they lose the weight, it's like, man, you get rid of them bigger clothes so you don't go backwards. So, you know, trying to burn that ship, man. So like you say, you ain't got no excuse to go back. Because we'll always find an excuse to go back, for sure.
Always. You know, that's the thing. Like, you get tired. Like today, I'll probably, if I weighed in today, because I had a burger last night, if I weighed in today, I'll probably like 307. You'd be like, how did I gain 7 pounds in one day? But that's just how our bodies is. You know, you remember how I used to lose weight for Thursday weigh-in, so you don't get, or Friday weigh-in, so you don't get fined. And then you jump back on the scale Saturday morning, before you get on the bus, you up 10 pounds. You sitting there like, how is that possible? I only ate. I went to Thursday night dinner with the team, but all of a sudden now I was like, well, damn, you know, a couple pork chops and sent me over the top. But, you know, man, I just, my biggest thing, man, is like PT, like we all got kids, bro. And I just want to live long enough, and because there's too many of us out here dying, man.
Correct.
There's too many of us, you know, and a lot of that stuff leads to depression too. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, Lance and PT if it was with y'all, but like when the game stopped, like they prepare us for so much. They prepare us they try to financially prepare you, which they do a shitty job at. They try to, they prepare you. Our whole life we prepare to try to make it to the league, for that potential to make it to the league. We go play at SEC schools, ACC schools, Pac-10, Big Ten. We go play these schools and we got 100,000 people screaming our name. You make a play, man, they screaming it so loud to make your dick hard. You know what I'm saying? But then when the lights turn off, nobody cheering for you, nothing, like there's no motivation. Like, what's my motivation to go in the gym? What is my motivation to do anything? Like, I don't got no, like, why am I doing this? And we realize how, like, to go watch, like, I go down to A&M a lot because Jimbo, you know, me and Jimbo still tight. And to watch those college workouts, you sit there and say, man, we was dumb as fuck for doing this. Like, we used to do this shit, and it's like hot in the damn devil drawers outside. We run into brick walls and keep beating the brakes off each other. And then when you get older, you're like, man, I was crazy for that. I really had a screw loose. But then when all the lights stop and all of the football and the action stop, it takes you to a dark place. It takes you to a place where you don't want to be at. You know what I'm saying? So I think for guys like Joe, who, you know, of course he won the greatest all time. He probably didn't finish when he wanted to finish, but he hung it up on his own. You know what I'm saying? Nobody told him we don't want you no more. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot easier for some of those guys to have that transition who leave on their own, who leave the game the way they want to leave,
That's the big part. They left on their own terms where even if it wasn't winning, you just said, all right, I'm stopping. Because you brought up a point earlier that a lot of us kind of end up with that, maybe I got one more year in me, let me train. And that turned into 3 years of that, you know what I'm saying? And then you like, well, shit, man, I ain't playing. So when is it over? When do I call it over? I ain't no quitter, you know what I'm saying? But so it's that whole balance of it. And like we always say when we talk to kids all the time, man, like you don't never get the choice to leave when you want. Either that choice is made for you, either by injury or you get too expensive or nobody call you no more. And so like a lot of times you don't get that closure, and that's tough. And so
it's tough. It's tough to deal with mentally. My mental wasn't. I was in a bad place for about 5 years, bro. You know what I mean? Because it was like I knew. I knew if healthy, I'm supposed to play 10, 15 years, bro. Mm-hmm. I knew to this day, I get upset every now and then just thinking, because one thing about the game, it's an inexact science.
Right.
So all of us, in my opinion, could be potentially Hall of Famers when you get drafted. And when I say it, I know it's not what the conversation about. I know we kind of been off, but all of us, depending on where you get drafted, depending on where you play, it shapes the type of career you're going to have. Because a lot of teams, like how the Texans did with me, drafted me because they were like, oh, he's the best on the board, and we're going to draft him. But if you've done your job and watched the film, you'd have been like, he ain't no 3-4 defensive lineman. So we not drafting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because now you try to put a square peg into a round hole. Now, all of a sudden, if you don't become the player that they expected you to be, now you a bust.
Correct.
Now you ain't shit. When I look back and I'm like, I look at draft day, everybody's like, you can go as high as 4, you can go as low as 17. You can go as high as 4 to Tampa Bay, you can go as low as 17 to the Bengals. And I look back like, I just want to go. But in all actuality, when the Texans called me like, hey, man, we about to make you this pick, I just said, nah, I'm straight. Let me fall to the Bengals with the next pick. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they playing a 4-3, and they doing the shit that I do, you know what I'm saying, on tape. Because when you look at me on tape in college, no way you thought this man could play in a 3-4, at a 3-4 end or 3-4 nose at 305 pounds with skinny waist, skinny ankles. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no 400, I wasn't no 500-pound bench presser. 415 is the highest I ever went, and that was on a hell of a day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where all the stuff was in a row. And I think, I say that because this game is chewed us up and spit us all out. And I laugh because, everybody's like, oh, man. Everybody's like, oh, Aaron Donald's the greatest player ever. Greatest defensive line we've seen in our day. And I said, yeah, he is. I said, but how different would it have been if the Browns would have drafted him and playing that old 3-4, zero nose, or got him playing the end? How different would his career be? We wouldn't be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? We look at guys like Jason Babin, who was drafted here before me. Jason played on 7 teams in 6 years at one point until he got to Philly, and all of a sudden, Wash put his ass in a wide 9. He let him take off, and then what happened? He go to Pro Bowl. And this is year 9. You think after 9 years, somebody know exactly who you are. And finally, when you get the right coach in the right situation, it blossoms your career. And I say that because I think a lot of our mental anguish for the league is, if I'm not hurt or if I get to the right place, I'll be all right. If I get to the right situation, I'm going to be all right. And by that time, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? And then by that time, it's, like you said, they don't want you no more. Phone call ain't coming. And that also affects, I think, the fluctuation in body weight. And I think mental health is a big deal with that, and that's my little 2 cents. You know what I mean?
So how you protect your mental, this is a good one to end on. How you protecting your mental health with all of this stuff? Because I think that's also a big thing. A lot of dudes eat their feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because, it's different than going out and getting drunk or, you know what I'm saying, chasing whatever, you know what I'm saying? So how do you personally deal with the mental?
Well, 1, smoking cigars. 2, I go to therapists, man. Like I talk to people, bro. I go to therapists because I know my brain still ain't, just from the game.
Yep.
it still ain't where it need to be. That's why I started trying to, you know, I take my Adderall every day, which I've been on since I was a kid. But for me, it's trying to get my brain to do more things or stay busy through the day. You know, trying to move around a little. Exactly, move around a little bit more, interact with people. You know what I'm saying? As hard as it is, because sometimes you forget somebody. Like I might see PT a year from now and be like, I know him, but I don't know him. And then I got my wife, like my PR lady, like, oh, that's such and such. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, oh, okay. You know, and that's tough at times, but really just trying to learn new things, man. I hadn't read a book, and I still don't read, but I do like books on tape just to get me thinking. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear somebody talking to me and calm my nerves, because my anxiety is still there. My nerves are still, you know what I mean? And the only how I can get right, I wander my house like a zombie at nighttime. You know what I mean? And not because I want to, but because my mental space. You know what I'm saying? When I'm still, my mind wanders, and when I'm still, my head hurts and my body hurts. And so for me, it's trying to take care of as much as I can take care of, and allowing family to help. Because one thing about all of us is we got to.
I don't need no motherfucking help.
Exactly. I don't need no help. I got it off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I got is because of my grind. Everything I got is because of the work I put in. And in the same breath is we forget that it wasn't just off our grind how we got there. It was our support system.
Right.
And for me, is, you know, our parents moved out here, and we built my house about a mile down the road. So I get to see my mom all the time. You know what I'm saying? I get to talk to my parents all the time. You know, and I hadn't lived back at home since I was 17 years old. But now I feel like home. A minute ago, my phone rang with my daddy. You know, so they keep an eye on me. But my parents also kind of know when I'm not in a good mental space, so they'll make an effort to come over. Like if I don't pick up my phone for 2 days, then I'm on one. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in a good place. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just making sure I talk to people and allowing myself to get that help, allowing myself to take my medications. You know what I'm saying? Allowing myself to, you know, to just allow myself to have pain, allow myself to have hurt and wants that, you know, like want to change how things have been. And, you know, it's so much, bro. It's so much. I mean, we think about the anxieties of, you got money, but you always feel broke, if that makes sense. Like you always feel like,
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. You feel like if one thing go wrong, like, man, I ain't gonna be able to do this. I can't support it. And then you start going down that hole. You start going down that rabbit hole, and it's just trying to navigate through that. I'm no way perfect, bro. I'm still navigating, bro. I'm still, you know, I'm taking pills like them dudes we know was taking pills in the league.
Yep.
You know, just trying to keep my mental right, man, and trying to not lose it. You know what I mean? But it's difficult, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Every day is a struggle, man. That's why when I saw my weight the other day, there's no reason I posted it, because you know what? It felt good. You know what I mean? And I know what I've been, and I know where I've come from, and I know being 370 wasn't no good feeling, you know, because you thinking about 370, you biscuit shot 400. When you hit 400, ain't no coming back down from 400. You know what I'm saying? And
we got some of our boys in the talent like that. And that's the same. That ain't that, man. Give yourself a round of applause. And it's hard because, like you said, we all know how to. Man, I got 3 sacks, but I needed 10. You know what I'm saying? But 374 to 300.7 ain't no fucking pump.
Hell no. And it took time.
For sure.
It took time, man. It's gonna keep taking time. And you know how we are, bro.
But you're only 30 rounds away. Only 30 rounds away from that jock strap and that drop top, though.
That ain't right. But man, yeah, man. But I appreciate y'all having me today, bro.
We appreciate that, man. Like you said, man, anything ever we could do to help you, you know what I'm saying? Let us know and shit, man. I forgot how close we are. I know you fuck with Sean, but I didn't know Robert. And man, you right. Because, Baby, my dude, man. We used to fuck around in Detroit all the time. And he's every now and again. So, man, it's all love.
It's crazy you start shouting out Orangeburg and Buford. That's
man.
For us, man.
Where you from, PT?
I'm from Somerville, which is so we used to play
right down the road. I know Somerville.
We used to play them boys all the time.
I was with Mike Bower, who's from over that way, with Alex Barron, with Greg, with who else from Carolina? Man, all them boys. So I've been to the little bologna shop right there on the corner in Orangeburg. I've been all through. You know what I'm saying? I've been through there. You know what I'm saying? So I love, man. Listen, man, that's one thing, man. I love about our brothers, and that's the only thing I would say, man. For all the people listening. And all people watch, well, I guess not listening, all people watching, is for all the fellas who played, make sure you check on your brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, man, is like, I try to explain, like one of my cousins, I don't really talk to him anymore because he got crack baby tendencies, you know what I'm saying? Like, he too up and down for me. But I try to explain to him, like, why I was closer with my guys I went to school with than I was with him. Even though we grew up together, I'm like, man, you don't understand. For 5 years, I lived with these dudes. I grinded with these dudes. I bled with these dudes. I cried with these dudes. And I saw them every day for 5 years like they were my blood sibling. Like we grew up in the same house, in the same bed. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what that type of bond does for you. And even in the league, you get guys that call you their brother. But then when you're out of the league, you don't hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I played with guys who committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? Who no longer with us. You know what I'm saying? I've hung with guys who committed suicide that played this game. And I think the biggest thing, if I ever had to tell anybody, was call your brothers. Check on your people, man. It ain't got to be every week. But every other week, man, write a list down and say, man, who was I really tight with in that locker room? Who was I really cool with? And you know what? Let me find this dude. Let me call him up and say, hey, man, I'll think about you, man. I just want to tell you I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because that might be the day when he thinking about putting that pistol in his mouth. And he say, man, Langston called me today, told me he loved me, man. PT called me, they tell me he loved me. And I don't want to be, I don't want to go that way, man. I don't want to go down that route because I know how much pain it's gonna cause my brothers. How much pain it's gonna cause my family, because they are my family. Either way you look at it. So I think that's my one thing I would say, man. I think that's good what y'all doing. And so you got your South Carolina connections, you got your, the guys you play with. Stay in touch with them dudes, man. Because one thing about us black men, we ain't never gonna admit a struggle or a problem. We just ain't built that way. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
infinite wisdom of Twitter, I saw that today. There's like black men will I'm straight. I'm straight they self all the way into depression. You know what I'm saying?
All the way into depression, bro.
Sometimes you gotta be like, nah, man, I'm fucked up right now. Or nah, I need to lean on you a little bit right now. I need you to set the pick for me or whatever.
And the problem is like too many of us, like we've been trained to, especially when you get to the league or you got a good job, we've been trained when one of your boys said, man, I'm fucked up, they finna ask for something. Like, oh man, I need help with my rent. I need this, I need that. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta stop having that immediately negative connotation when our brother hit us up.
Still be there for somebody for sure and not give them that, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Money is the last thing I need to give you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, that's why when we call somebody, I'm like, hey man, I ain't want nothing from you, man. I just want to say what's up, bro.
Sure.
Next thing I was thinking about you, man. You was on my heart, man. I just want to make sure you straight. Or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Somebody called me. I mean, Greg, I talked to Greg, B-Mac, Alex. I talked to them boys. We on text all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? But if they ever see me up at like 4 a.m, because I'm wandering like a zombie, one of them will call me and be like, man, you straight? What's going on? And that's all I'm saying is like, just talk to your brothers, man. Because we so few and far between, bro. Like, it's so, nobody understands that grind, man. I once had a coach that he said, your family will never understand. And to give a perspective, he say, They'll never understand what it feel like to sit on a hot toilet seat to take a shit because you got 10 minutes in between meetings. You know what I'm saying? Because your partner just got off the shitter and you jumping back on the shitter like, let me get it out of me real fast for practice. They don't understand that grind. They don't understand what you've been through. They don't understand. They think, oh, I saw him on TV. This shit must have been easy. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand how hard it's been, how hard life is, because they think, oh, man, you got everything. You got bread. You paying your bills. You live in a nice house. You live in a nice neighborhood. It ain't always that, man. You know, so that's my only thing I would have to say.